get yourselves ready because you are about ready to hear one of the most amazing speakers in internet marketing today. Wow. The person you're about to hear is an internet revenue expert. He speaks and writes on topics that help people make money online. This is a guy who knows how to make money online. He is a New York Times bestseller. New York Times bestseller. That is an achievement in and of itself. He wrote the AdSense Code. He's host and executive producer of The Next Internet Millionaire, the world's first competitive internet reality show, and also the author of Twitter Power, fabulous book on one of our favorite mediums, Twitter. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome to the stage the incomparable, the amazing Joel Comm.
All right. Hey guys, how you doing? I'm excited because what we're going to talk about today is cutting edge. It is groundbreaking. It is futuristic. It is HTML. Not. Hang on a second, I got a tweet. Let's see, here we go. Fire up my Tweety here, and on stage now, I love my iPhone, at pound JVAL, and let's see, HTTP, :/ what is it? JValert.tv. And let's put a picture with it. Let's see. Everybody wave. There we go. Tweety is the app to have if you have an iPhone and you're going to use Twitter. We're going to say use photo. Compresses that image like right there, just like that. Just like that. Just like that, I'm telling you. Thank you, AT&T. And then we send it and go. And somebody pull up at Joel Comm on if you're on Twitter, and tell me if that sucker posts out there. This is way more exciting than HTML. All right? How many people in here use Twitter? Oh, wow. Wow, that is fantastic. Okay, it's sent. So hopefully we'll get some people coming in and join us. All right, I'm going to move quickly because we got a lot of ground to cover today. There's me, and this is who I am. For those of you who haven't met me before, this is the love of my life, Mary, who in this month we'll be celebrating our 20th anniversary. And she's awesome. And these are my three kids. There's Zach, there's Jenna, and there's Socrates. You know how they say masters and owners look a little bit alike? I used to have a goatee. Those of you who don't recognize me without it, but he's so cute. He's a good boy. He is. A little bit about my past. I grew up in the Chicago suburbs. Any other suburban Chicagoites here? Yep, a few of you back here. Northbrook, Illinois, home of Allstate, AC Nielsen, and Kraft Foods. Woo! University of Illinois graduate. Wow, really? Wow. I was a DJ back in college, WPGU 107 FM, Rock 107, playing Rat. Here's Round and Round. Not bad. Can't tell I was a DJ, right? I was an encyclopedia salesman. Excuse me. Could I interest you in this lovely 24-volume set of padded leather encyclopedias? No. Do you not care about your children's education? Is it okay if I come down here, camera people? Good, because I feel like I want to be closer to y'all than up there. I am a serial entrepreneur, and I'm also proud of this status. I am a volunteer digital entertainment engineer, which means I like to play video games. Any World of Warcraft players in here? Come on, don't be shy. 1, 2, 3, 4. The rest of you, fine. Just miss out on the next best thing after Twitter. Over the years, we've done a lot of things. I co-founded Infomedia Inc. in 1994, so I've been doing this webs and internet and technology stuff for a long, long time. I sold a game site to Yahoo in 1998. Who's heard of Yahoo Games? That started with me. If you go to Yahoo Games and you sit down at one of the game tables, there's little avatars you can select from, and one of them is a guy with a red cap, glasses, and a goatee. The goatee left and went somewhere else a year ago, but that's my cartoon. I wrote the AdSense code, as Felicia said, was a New York Times bestseller. I did the first competitive internet reality show, The Next Internet Millionaire, and one of our special teachers on that show is actually sitting right over here. Ray Edwards, give him a hand. So is there anybody else in here that was on the show? I don't want to overlook you if you are. Okay, great. We had a lot of guests. We are best-selling iPhone application designers, and really excited about that because we're going to talk about a topic that I don't think you've heard at any other internet marketing conference or personal development conference or investing conference. We're going to talk all about mobile and the future of mobile with real case studies of what we've done. And I am author of the upcoming, actually newly released book, Twitter Power, and going to have some very exciting news for you guys about that. For those of you who've been following my Twitter feed, I've been teasing for the last 25 days and counting. And everybody's like, what? What's in 25 days? 24 days and counting, 23, and people are starting to pull their hair out. You guys are going to be the very first in the whole world to know what we've got coming up in now, what's today, the 6th or 7th? 7th. So do the math. In 12 days. It's going to be very, very exciting. And we office in Loveland, Colorado. Are you the ones from Loveland? Yeah, excellent. Beautiful, beautiful there. And that's just about 10 minutes south of Fort Collins, and moved there a couple years ago and really like it. But before we get started, I got a couple disjointed things I want to toss at you. The first one is I brought you all a gift. I like presents. Yes. Look under your chair, it's a new car. No. Not again. This is our top 1% report, the newsletter that we publish out of our office. And this is from me and my team, and it is filled with new content each month of what we believe is the absolute freshest and best internet marketing material on the face of the earth. And at lunch, previous to being in here, I had the privilege to be with the Barefoot exec. Where are you, Carrie? Come over here, would you? Had the privilege to be with Carrie, and we had gotten her enough of these to send to her mastermind group. And when that happened, the tweets started coming in. And if you could just take, yeah, you are like a Twitter powerhouse. If you could just take a couple minutes and tell people. Is this my copy? That mic is on. You haven't seen this one yet either. This is
I haven't seen this one. I know. Give me a second. I think it started because I asked you for a copy of your book, the Click to Order, and he sent me a signed copy of the book, and in it he stuck some review copies of the 1% report, which I had not heard of, which is interesting because I'm pretty entrenched in the market. And I've also produced newsletters, customer newsletters, for the past 8 years in one of my other businesses. So we've done $4.5 million in customer newsletters. Some of you remember when I was reviewing Yannick Silver's newsletters, I kind of ripped it to shreds because it was just so bad. The content was good, the design was bad, et cetera, et cetera. Anyway, so he sends me some review copies, and I just stuck them in the to-read pile. Raise your hand if you have a to-read pile. Okay, so it sat there for 6 to 8 weeks. I went on a flight recently, and I had early January, and I thought, what am I going to read on the flight? And I pulled out those review copies. And I kid you not, I alienated my husband because every time he tried to interrupt me on the plane or ask me a question, I read 3 issues back to back of the 1% report. Now, I have to admit, I'm a newsletter snob. I'm as much about the design and the graphics and the feel of it as I am the content that's in it. But I have to tell you, as a woman who's been in business for 10 years, and a newsletter person, that the content, there is no equivalent of content in any marketing newsletter that's being put out right now by Yannick, by Mike Filsaime, by Frank Kern, by anybody. And the graphics and the design, it's first class. It's not one that you get and you wonder why you're paying for it. And it's too dadgum cheap. I told you at lunch, it's too cheap, and so we're working on his profit margin. He's been hanging out with Ken McArthur too long.
Thing!
But it is amazing. It's got articles on social media, every issue, video, every issue, and it's appropriate whether you're new or whether you're very advanced. If you're advanced, you're not going to feel like you're reading the Internet Guide for Dummies, and if you're new, you're not going to feel like you're reading a journal, okay? It's very, very good. So Here's another marketing lesson for you. If you want to reach a wider marketplace, you hook up with an influencer in the market who has a reach, and you send them autographed copies for their mastermind group, and Twitter was a buzz. I mean, it was like a relaunch almost for 1% Report. So I heartily endorse.
That one's for you.
There's no signature on it.
Okay, we'll sign it later. Thanks, Carrie. Give her a hand. Okay, so really quickly, I have, yes.
Forgot to mention the forum and the membership.
Right. I haven't forgotten. Thank you. We brought a free copy of that for everybody. When we're all done here, you can go to the back table and get one from Dan. If you want to sign up for the Top 1 report, it's $29.95 a month. That's 29.95. You also get access to our Top 1 network, which is a private social network, very much like Facebook. So at the end, go back and see Dan in the back and go ahead and get that. And number 2, yesterday, a bunch of you were privileged to hear Dan speak at the luncheon. Who was there? Give me a hand. Yep, Dan Nickerson, he is our Vice President of Ideas. And in that session, Dan demonstrated a lot of things, but one of the things he talked about was some form creation software that we've developed called Instant Form Pro. And I keep hearing people who are using it here, and Ken's using it himself on some of his sites. And I thought, let me just take a couple minutes to show you guys. Guys, welcome Dan Nickerson. Come on up. And this is totally dependent on the bandwidth that we've got here right now, because my card may or may not do. I'm going to go ahead and narrate, Dan, since I've got the mic here as you do this.
And of course, this is version 1.0, not 2.0.
Right. This is version 1.0. It's a very simple drag and drop software that lets you create surveys, questionnaires, any kind of forms that you can imagine. And unlike SurveyMonkey or any of the web-based services that you pay monthly, you pay for this one time, and you can install it as many times as you want and create unlimited forms. And we're finding that this has been a real powerful tool. You want to find out what your customers want? What do? Ask them. You ask them. I cannot believe how many years I left so much money on the table wondering what my customers wanted because I didn't ask them. So what Dan's doing is he's typing in a form titled JV Alert Feedback. He's putting in the description, let us know what you think. And you can turn on password protection. You can turn on CAPTCHA to protect from spam. And what you see here, he just clicked name. Boom, there's the field. He clicked email. There's the field. He clicked phone. Now he's clicking paragraph text. It's instantly building the form on the fly. There's some advanced fields in it which are really cool, though. Dan, hit a couple of the multiple choice. And can you scroll down? There you go. You can put an upload a file button so they can send a picture or an audio file or a text file, whatever it is that you want them to upload with it. And then you can customize every field with a name. You could make it so it's visible to everybody or to just administrators. So he's typing upload pic for testimonial. And go ahead and show there's the multiple choice at the very bottom. And as soon as he types, you're instantly seeing the field change. So I want to keep this simple. Obviously, we can put in options there and go back to the form. Okay, so Dan's going to save the form, and now you've got 3 ways that you can take that form. You can email the form, you can make a thank you page, you can embed the code. It's just a copy and paste, or you can set it up on its own page. So since there were a number of questions about this, I wanted to show it to you guys. If you want to get it, it's $147. That's unlimited use and installation. Give Dan a hand.
Just to say, Q, you can just to cover a couple things too. It works in any WordPress post page. You can embed the code in any form you want. It's totally customizable. You have full source code. So if you have custom apps, you can have a programmer do custom applications with it. Also, it exports to an Excel CSV file. You can do anything you want with the data from the back end.
Yay, Dan.
4 minutes to install.
Perfect. Okay, I want to make sure we're going to use this mic in a little bit. We're going to try something a little different since we couldn't get audio out of the machine. All right, so see Dan in the back for the JV Alert Special on this. All right, now into those were the previews of coming attractions and all. We're going to get into the main feature now. And I know it's after lunch, and I know you guys are digesting, and what I'm going to show you is going to be both exciting and a little challenging. And what I want you to think of is what the web and email were like circa 1994. Set the Wayback Machine. You guys help me out. Come on, help me out. Yes, I'm looking at you back there. Come on, give me a rhythm. Everybody. Now let's sing. We will rock. You guys back there, come on, I see you. Don't make me come back there. Keep it going. Keep it going. Right here. That's good, not bad. Come on, Harlan. Come on, Harlan. 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 I'm going to stand here until you play along. All right, I'm going to have to make them. Come on. All right, good grief. Can a guy have a little fun here? Woo! By the way, that was all for the benefit of Harlan Kilstein. He's been shy, and it's really time for him to come on out and be, I'm just teasing you, brother. Bring it on. Let's talk mobile stats. I'm going to show his hand. First of all, here are the stats. There's a gazillion phones out there. I counted them. 1, 2, 3, a gazillion. Who does not carry a cell phone? 1. 1 is the loneliest number, my friend. Somebody show him the technology so he understood. It's not for absolutely everybody, but pretty much everybody's carrying them. Everybody is text messaging. Who has all-you-can-eat SMS? Okay, who has more than enough SMS even though it's not all you can eat? Who does not use SMS yet? A few of you. You will. It's coming. What's happening is that there is a convergence of technologies to mobile. It's all coming right down to this device that is either attached to our hip or in our purses or wherever it is that you might be carrying this. In fact, this one here is the first, for me, what I consider the first real handheld computer, phone, instant messenger, email. This thing does it all. Who's got an iPhone? Do you love your iPhone? Do you want to marry your iPhone? Sorry, hon, left you for the iPhone. There's over 13 million of these devices. And we're going to concentrate a lot on the iPhone in the first part of the presentation, then I'm going to broaden it to some other uses for mobile in the last part, okay? Actually, I think that number is probably close to 14 million now, and as far as iPod Touches, we have no idea how many there are. At least twice as many, at least. They were sold out everywhere in the holidays. You could not get an iPod Touch. And with the iPod Touch, you have access to a lot of the same features that the iPhone has without the telephone and without the camera. And Android is next. Who's heard of Android? Yeah, the Google phone system that is going to be on the rest of the carriers, right? AT&T and Apple, they're like this for 5 years. They've got a contract, so if you're asking when is the iPhone going to be on Verizon, they've got another 3.5 years minimum before that happens. So AT&T got a good deal. And can you believe when Apple approached Verizon, Verizon said, no, thank you. You know what AT&T is saying to Verizon now? Can you hear me now? Because they got it, boy, it's a great deal for them. All right, so what I want to do is talk about a few different mobile business models, and I just want the gears in your head to start whirring as you think of the possibilities, because this is an enormous marketplace. And what I'm going to show you applies globally for the most part. Some of it's just domestic, and I'll tell you when that's the case, but most of this applies globally. First of all, and I'm going to go through each of these, so you don't have to write them all down right now. There's the ad revenue model. There is the branding model. There is the product and service sales model. There's data mining. Oh, can't wait to tell you about this one. Data's big. There's affiliate marketing. There's direct marketing. There's social networking and member acquisition. And I want to share with you 5 case studies from my own experiences. Because if I wanted to, I can give you hypothetical. Studies show this, and we think that people will be doing that in the future. Would you rather hear real-life case studies? Yes. Good. I don't want this to sound like a commercial, so I thought, how am I going to communicate how we know what is succeeding without talking about what we're doing? And there's no way that we can really do that. So this is real world data, and I guarantee you have not heard this anywhere else. This is the Apple iTunes store. iTunes is massive. It's huge. It's ginormous. I have to make up new words to describe it because it's that big. And what you'll notice on the right side of the store is this thing that says top paid apps. Not only is Apple now selling music and movies, but people who develop applications for the Apple iPhone are now able to sell and distribute their applications through the iTunes store. You can put them up for free. It costs $99 to become an Apple developer. That's it. Now you need to have a programmer that can actually develop his own weight and do some good stuff. But to actually apply to become an Apple developer to do iTunes is $99. You fill out the information, you give them your banking information. You can develop applications that are free, and you put them in, and when somebody searches for them, yours can come up, and people download them to their phone, use them, enjoy them. Or you can make them paid. And when you do that, Apple says, we're happy to approve your application as long as it doesn't violate any of their terms of service, which constantly seems to be shifting. We can talk about that in a little bit too. They will sell it, and you will keep 70% of whatever you sell. Apple takes 30%. Not a bad deal for getting distribution in the world's biggest store for doing so, right? So here are the 5 case studies. These are all applications that we have developed. I'll tell you when I'm referencing those that are not ours. The first one is called iVote Mobile, and I'm going to go ahead and play you a little video that describes it rather than do it myself.
Welcome to iVote, the world's first true social networking application
Can you hear
for
that?
the Apple iPhone. Once you've installed iVote, you can choose from a number of questions related to politics, current events, sports, entertainment, and many more topics. By clicking the Locations button, you can see what people around the world, in your country, in your state, region, city, or county have had to say as well. Simply click a subregion to see. There's a number of questions on iVote, and simply by scrolling through them, you can choose which ones you'd like to make your opinion known on. Once you've voted, you can instantly see what everybody else has to say. Take part in the social networking portion of the application by adding your own comment. This is where your voice can really be heard. Vote on comments by clicking the plus if you agree or the minus if you disagree. Click on the I Ask button and you'll have an opportunity to submit your question to appear on iVote. iVote, it's your voice in the digital age.
All right. What do you guys think of that? Pretty cool. That was our, thank you. That was our very first application. It is free. Okay, this is a free model, and we're going to show you how we monetize this and how you can do likewise. When people launch iVote for the first time, it asks them 2 questions, their year of birth and their gender. Now, we actually know 3 things about them. We're just asking them 2, but we know 3 things. We know their year of birth, we know their gender, and because the iPhone has geolocation capabilities in it, we know where they live. Think about that for a second. We know your phone ID. We ask 12 questions a day. It is a mix of different psychographics, lifestyle, sports, entertainment, politics, current events, you name it. We ask a variety of questions each day, 12 a day. And we support it through ad revenue and a pro version that removes the ads for 99 cents. But that's not where the real juice is. That's a trickle. The real juice in the business model is in the data. For example, I can tell you by looking at our numbers that a certain 35-year-old female living in Denver, Colorado prefers Coke to Pepsi. She owns 3 computers. She watches Lost and despises Jack Bauer, although I can't imagine why. He's saving the world, people. She voted for Obama. She cheers for the Yankees, hates the Mets, and she has a big screen TV over 50 inches. That's just the beginning of what we know from this one voter. We've had over 2,000 different questions asked. We've had 60,000 users download iVote for free or paid, and we've had over 7 million votes cast. That's like Dr. Evil. 7 million. And that's just the beginning. That's just 60,000 users. We believe that because of our application iVote, we have more data on iPhone users than anybody in the whole world, even Apple. Because we can intercorrelate every one of these questions and target down to these individual people. So here's the business model. Build an app that creates a social network of some kind. It is all about having a user base. It's the model of Twitter and Facebook. In fact, just this week, Facebook announced that they figured out a monetization method. You know what they're doing? They're asking survey questions. If you'll go to your Facebook page, go to your profile, and you will see embedded in between your regular content a simple survey question, a true or false question, a yes or no question. They're keeping it as unobtrusive as they can, but they're asking. And they already know everything about you. And what do you think they're going to do with that data? They're going to sell you to the highest bidder. It's true. Watch. Next time you go on Facebook, take a look. Sell ad space. There's a company called AdMob, ADMOB.com. They've delivered billions of impressions. That would be more Dr. Evilish, right? Billions. And they are the biggest ad broker for mobile. So whether you want to advertise on other mobile networks to drive people to your content, or whether you want to monetize your own content with their ads, it works both ways. Now, like typical advertising, it doesn't pay a lot. It also doesn't cost a lot. And it doesn't convert like crazy. You've got to test it and get it right. It's just like you wouldn't jump into AdWords without knowing what you're doing and understanding. You don't jump into advertising on cell phones without knowing what you're doing either. Mine the data and then sell the insight. Now, I can look at that data and give you a simple case study about our women, and 35-year-old woman in Denver, but there are people who are trained professionals. In fact, who's got a background in data mining at all? Anybody in here? Okay, there are people who, that's what they specialize in. There are people much smarter than I that are able to take all that data and extrapolate the key things that make it more valuable. So that is the first case study. As I'm going along here, is that helpful? Okay, great. Let's jump to the one that many of you are waiting for. We're going to get it done sooner than later. There it is. It's okay, go ahead. I never thought I'd get applause for farts, so, it's time. My mother would be proud. In fact, she is. People ask me, how does your mother feel? She's like, go get him. And then how does your wife feel? Well, let me tell you how my wife feels. Initially, she felt like this. Her eyes rolled. A couple weeks ago, she told me she went to the salon to get her nails done, and the girl that does her nails, Mary pulled out the iPhone and demoed it for her. Oh, and what do my kids think? Here, this is the coup de grace. My 17-year-old Zach turned to me about a month ago after this thing went crazy, and he said, and I quote, "Dad, you're so cool." I win! That's it. I'm done for life. You don't have to ever say it again. I'm good. It's like a testimonial. You put it on a page. You said it once. It counts. We are permeating the public psyche so much that there was a cartoon drawn. That was not me. That was my phone. The release of iFart Mobile made it clear a phone is not only for phoning. Phoning. So here we go. Voicing by Dan Nickerson.
If you need to clear a room fast, or just make someone laugh, iFart for the iPhone may be just what you're looking for. Select any of the sounds. The fart now button. And if you want to embarrass, say the crap out of someone, you can do that too. With a sneak attack, set your timer, place it next to your victim, and walk away. And after the timer goes off, it'll play the sound that you select. Worried about someone using your phone without your permission? Don't be. With a security fart, there's a 5-second timer. You you walk away, if someone picks up your phone, they'll hear your sound. There may be other fart apps out there, but with new features like Sound Recorder, Fart a Friend, and many more, iFart changes everything.
If you would have asked me a year ago, life is a funny thing, is it not? So, excellent question. Harlan wants to know if those were all me. Actually, Harlan, we would have been following you, my friend. The truth is now out there. That is a very common question. We do have a research and development department at Infomedia. I thought that was funny. No, they're all, we bought them. We bought the sounds. Okay, we don't make them our own. We do not have a factory for that. I'm sorry, I know you're thoroughly disgusted. I can see, she's over here going, oh. 99 cents in the iTunes App Store. Back in June or July, as soon as we heard that there was going to be a software development kit, us guys, the executive team, which are 12-year-olds disguised in men bodies, pulled into the conference room and we began whiteboarding idea after idea after idea. I mean, we filled that whiteboard like that. And we don't even know who initially came up with this idea, but whoever did it, it instantly caused us to start laughing. We thought, we have to do this. We're just compelled, we have to do this. We set up the ifartmobile.com website, and we did a lot of guerrilla marketing. Now, who remembers seeing on CNET or somewhere else the first time that one of these apps got rejected? Anybody remember? Yep, a couple of you back there. There was a story that broke on CNET back in, I want to say October, and it was the very day that we were getting ready to submit our app, and it was that Apple is rejecting this type of novelty app. The app was called Pull My Finger. In my opinion, did not have the panache, the style, if we can have such a thing, that iFart Mobile had. Sorry? It did not have the variety. It was not explosive. So we had this lingering sense that we had to, we just thought theirs stunk. Oh. No, we knew that. We thought, well, if we submit this to the store now, it's going to get rejected. So we put it aside, and we thought, what are we going to do? A couple weeks later, I called Ken Burge, president of our company. I said, you know what? Go ahead and submit it. What's the worst thing that they can do, right? I tell my kids, it never hurts to ask, so it never hurts to try. We submitted it, and an interesting thing happened. They didn't reject it. They tagged it in review. We thought maybe it's going to be in limbo forever, you know, an app purgatory or something. On December 12th, I'm getting ready to get on stage at Harv Ekker's Never Work Again. There's 1,100 people in the room. And I mean, I'm 2 minutes to going on stage. And I get the call, and Ken says, iFart's been approved. I'm like, let me on that stage. I mean, I was so fired up, then you got to be kidding me. And instantly, I went out and started doing some guerrilla marketing. And look, you can hire PR firms. There's nothing wrong with having a good PR firm. I've tried a bunch of them. I've spent a lot of money. And nobody that I have ever dealt with does publicity better than me doing it myself. It's not rocket science. You go to the sites you want to cover you find the editors, you send them an email, and you provide them with a ready-made story. Not a rocket scientist. Not a brain surgeon. I figured this out, and that's exactly what I did. And I went to TechCrunch and Mashable and VentureBeat and CNET, and I told them about, you know, this app. This was news before that it got rejected. Now it's news that it's out there. And that day, they wrote an article about the fart wars. Pull My Finger versus iFart Mobile. Apple's made a change in their app store. Instantly, we start making sales that very day. By the way, this is in development for Android as well. Is it a cultural phenomenon? We've sold over 400,000 units. What? Oh, yeah. Pretty. We knew we had a hit. How many would you sell? We didn't know. And you know what else? Other developers didn't know what it meant to have a best-selling app. For example, you look at the App Store and you see this one's number 75. Well, what does that translate to? How many units did you sell? Nobody knew. Well, now this one's number 10. How much money are they actually making? Nobody knew. Nobody was talking. So the next thing I did, which is a lesson, for guerrilla marketing, is to do something nobody's done before. And in this case, I looked out there. I was curious what everybody was selling, and now I knew what we were selling. And so I started blogging about it. Sales rank versus your placement versus how much money you're making in the iTunes store. And I blogged about it. I said, it's 75 units. We made X number of, number 75 in the iTunes store, we sold X number of units and made this much money. In number 30, we made this. Guess what? People started picking up on that because that was of interest to other developers. How much money are you actually making? It's been purchased in 60 countries. I told you, the App Store is global. And let's face it, this kind of humor knows no boundaries. I've been interviewed a lot of times and people ask me, Joel, is this just a fad? I'm like, read Shakespeare. He talks about flatulence. You know, this is centuries old. This is nothing new. And whether women want to admit it or not, farts are funny. Admit it. Go on, admit it. Tell me. It was the #1 paid app for 3 weeks. We developed the entire thing in-house. Now, there's nothing wrong with outsourcing. People will tell you to outsource, and I'm the first one to tell you, when you're getting started, if you need to outsource, then do it. But since we've started insourcing and bringing in world-class people that know their stuff, we found that we have been far, far more productive than ever before. There's a huge difference between trying to get on the phone to India when it's the middle of the night there and get something done and saying, guys, conference room, 3 minutes, and collaborating. It's amazing how much more we get done in that environment. So if you're going to outsource, elance.com or rentacoder.com or guru.com, great. Make sure you get people that have great feedback, that have been doing it for a while. But if you can bring people in-house, it's amazing how productive you can be. These are just some of the places we were featured. Who gets the New York Times? Anybody? Yeah, if you'll look in last Sunday's paper, they did a whole article in the consumed column called Dumb and Dumber 2.0, talking about Americans and how we'll buy anything. And there's a picture of a guy letting a little tootie out, and in his back pocket was the iPhone with iFart on it. So not only a New York Times bestseller, a New York Times best farter. I just made that up. Hey, I'm trying here, people. The question was, are you monetizing the back end of iFart? What do you think? You're darn tootin'. And here's how. What we did is we embedded a message of the day feature so that we can change an XML file to say whatever we want. Every time you launch iFart Mobile, it checks to see if there's any changes in the XML file, and it pops that up. In fact, right now, if you go, it pops up a message that says, did you vote? Your opinion is needed. Get iVote free now. Click here. And when we do that, we see hundreds more downloads of iVote each day. So we're cross-marketing our products one from another. So great question, and I thought the answer was even better. So how much are we earning according to store rank, and how does pricing affect sales? These are the questions that people wanted to know if they're developers or entrepreneurs wanting to do iPhone apps. And finally, what is the best model? Is it a free or paid model? Here's what we have discovered, and this looks complex. I'm going to walk over here so I can point out a few things to you because it's not that clear. This is the number of units sold from 0, 5,000, 10,000, all the way up to 45,000. And these are the dates right here from December 12th when we went live to the day after Christmas. And you could see when we got in the store, we instantly started selling some units. Here's total units sold right here. This is our ranking in the store. Ignore the green one. This is from 1 to 100, our ranking in the store. And so when we got to about 3,000 units, we were like number 10. But there was a huge leap when we went up to number 1 on December 22nd. That was driven by the publicity campaign, the blogging that I did, the news that I sent to various editors. And when we released, and that drove more sales, right? Because people are talking about it, now there's interest in it. I mean, even Howard Stern's show had said something about it. Not a fan of Mr. Stern, but they've got a guy that comes on the show. His name's Will the Farter. Yeah, it's like he can do it on demand. And he mentioned it on the show. Now, his mother must be proud. When the news got out, when I released what we did on Christmas Day, 39,000 units, it was written about all over the world. I mean, literally, I was opening up Google News, and I'm seeing Germany, I'm seeing it in French, I'm seeing it in Russian, I'm seeing it in Chinese and Korean and Japanese. I'm seeing articles, and I can't read them because they're foreign languages, but I'm looking for keywords, and there's da-da-da-da-da, I fart, da-da-da-da-da-da, Joel Comm. It was interesting, real interesting. So the key I want you to get from this is the real money comes in when you get up the charts there. And there's a lot of opportunity to do that if you're doing something that is innovative. That's hard to see, so I'm going to skip through that. Let's talk about how pricing affects sales. The iVote Pro example, this is iVote without ads. When we had it at $1.99 for the upgrade, 2.5% of the people upgraded. When we lowered the price to 99 cents, 12% upgraded. Big difference. Now, this is from the limited data we have, but people like the impulse buy of cheap apps in the App Store. Do you go free or do you go paid? There's a lot more free apps, so it's a lot more difficult to rank if you're doing free apps. But the free to paid strategy works well if the application is doing good. And I'm going to give you an example here in a minute. Let's talk about Isteam. This is an application that basically your phone looks like it's steamed up and it's got condensation on it. When you turn it, you can see it kind of drip down the screen. You can have a picture behind it so you can see it appear. And if you blow into the microphone, it steams up again. Take your finger against it and you like that. They gave it away for free and it instantly got buzz. It ranked number 1 in the free app store and they did over 1 million downloads of this app for free. So Dan actually wrote the guy and said, you should sell it. The guy got cocky. He's like, yeah, Isteam's going to take down iFart. He put it on the store for 99 cents, moved it over, and he broke in through the top 100, and he capped out at number 25, and then lost steam. Ran out of gas, too. Now, would it have been better for him to stick with the free model instead, do some sort of lead gen through the app? Release an update that had like a message of the day feature. When you've got so many users out there that you can drive eyeballs elsewhere, that might have been a better model for him. He's making $1,000 to $2,000 a day in that range. There's another one, though, that's a better example, iShoot. This is a game. In fact, if you're not picking up on this yet, the iPhone is turning into, besides the practical applications of having phone, email, SMS, video, etc., into an entertainment device. Games and entertainment are the biggest categories. Why else would people buy 400,000 copies of a flatulence machine? iShoot. It's a free game, and they got to number 1 for several weeks, and then they released a version that had more features in it and sold it for $2.99. That has been number 1 for 3 weeks at $3 a pop. Do the math. These folks, I mean, ours was 99 cents for 3 weeks, did 400,000 units. I bet they're close to that at $3 a pop. Not bad. So if you have a free app that can translate into a pro version with more features and sell it, it's a great way to go. Here's the model. Create a viral application. And don't just think your first idea is the killer one. Like I said, we filled whiteboards full of ideas. Even, whether it's iPhone or not, whether you think you got a great idea or not, run it by other people, do some market research, find out what else is out there. Because immediately people come to me and say, what about iBurp? It's out there. There's over 90 fart applications in the store now. We set off What's a good pun here? Yeah, we set off a big bang. That's good. What else we got? A firestorm. An explosion. I'm looking for the killer one, though. What is it? The big blow. Okay. This is the big blast. Create a viral app. And consider the competition. Look at what other people are doing. iFart is now lingering around number 50 right now. It's been around for a couple months now. It's got great hang time. We can't edit a live stream, can we? Guys, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Consider what others are doing. Be innovative in whatever you're doing, whether it's mobile or web or products and services. Innovate. If you want to I cannot tell you how many people come to me and say, I've written an ebook and it's, well, they don't say this, but what I'm hearing is it's the same old thing. You know what I'm talking about? There's a lot of same old thing out there. There's a lot that has not yet been invented. Innovate. Break out of whatever mold you think that you are in. Think outside that box. In fact, what box? Seen The Matrix? There is no spoon? Okay, I can't bend spoons with my mind, but there is no box. There are no limits. As long as what we're doing is not illegal or immoral, there's no limits. So think outside that box and don't be afraid to take risks. All the big successes and the biggest failures we've had have been from the bigger risks that we've taken. If you just want to make a few bucks and move merrily along, that's fine. You can make a few bucks and move merrily along. But if you want to have the big win, you got to go big. Or go home. Innovate. On the free model, use it for branding, use it for customer acquisition, use it for leverage. On the paid side, use it for revenue, but it's got to be a higher priced application and it's got to be a hit to be truly profitable. Is this helpful? Yeah. Okay, great. Let's move on to the third case study. This one's a quickie.
Any 3-5 factors you think make it a lot more likely to be a hit than another?
The factors that make an iPhone app more likely to be a hit than another. First of all, it's got to be good. Okay, it's got to appeal to people. The quality of it really has to reach a broad market of users. There's some great apps out there, but they're very limited in the market. So we don't want to target small markets. We want to go wide and make sure we're reaching as many people as possible. The second thing has got to be your marketing. I mean, look, everything comes down to marketing. In fact, you could take a lousy product, and with good marketing, you can sell a lot. Case in point, McDonald's. I mean, sorry for those of you who enjoy it. I ate it when I was younger, and I had to stop because it's disgusting for me. I can't eat it. And I don't even know if it's food. I'm not sure. But over how many trillion sold? It's Ronald McDonald. We got the golden arches. Come on in, kids. Happy Meals. Yay! Case in point. So, good product, at least good, if not great. Why not shoot for great? If you're going to do something, why settle for good? Go for great. And then solid marketing. You can market anything. Okay, so this app here, we have a site called dealofday.com. Anybody familiar with Deal of Day? Yep, several people use it, great. It is a shopping coupon site. You go to Deal of Day and you find out who are the online merchants that are offering discounts on various products and services online. We thought, wouldn't it be cool to take this data and put it in an iPhone app? So this is our shopping coupons app. You go in there, it pulls up an XML feed. This is all this is, pulling in a feed from our website into the categories. You click within a category, and there's a deal for Borders.com. 20% off list price of any item. There's the details. If you click it, takes you right to Borders within your application. Somebody buys, that's an affiliate link for us. If they buy, we get a commission on it. Real simple. This app gets about 600 to 700 downloads every day because we called it Shopping Coupons. Go to the App Store, type in shopping, guess who comes up? Type in coupons, guess who comes up? So the name is also important. And this is brief because that's all there is to this. Not rocket science. All right, that's the affiliate commission model, and it also helps instill brand loyalty in our existing customers. It is convenient, It is free, and people like to download it. I'll be right with you. There you go. This is the flying monkey. The Infomedia flying monkey is a symbol of, he is our mascot, and he is a symbol of all that is right and good in the world. And several of our partners, raise your hand if you got a flying monkey over the holidays. Willie got one. Yep, you got one over there. Yep, 1, 2, 3, 4, excellent. Carl, dude, I'm so sorry you didn't get one. We're going to remedy that right now. Carl's looking over there thinking, I didn't get a monkey. Here it comes. There we go. All right. You're probably wondering, what does that have to do with mobile? Somebody ask me. Nothing. I like them. They're fun. State change. Who knows about state change? A couple of you. When you're marketing, you want to use what's called state change. Copywriters know this, right, Ray? I don't know what you're talking about. State change? Yes, you do. It's taking the environment as is. When they're on the sales page or looking at a product or service and doing something that gets their attention, changes instantly the feeling, the mood, the way people are thinking. So that's all that is. That's just a monkey to change things up a little bit, because I saw this one over here closing his eyes, so that was it. All right, let's move on to number 4. Really excited about this one, and I'm kind of building up here as I'm showing you what we're doing. Mobile syndication solutions. And I'm going to show you a video. This one doesn't need a mic. I'm just going to kind of narrate a piece of it. This comes from my desire to have my own application in the App Store. So this is the Joel Comm app. Were you laughing? You launch it, and up comes the screen. This is so that my customers can access my content through their iPhone. There's a message of the day at the top, which is fully customizable, and we can link it to any site that we want to. And for those of you who use an iPhone, you'll know that when you click a link, like in your email, it exits the email client and goes to the web browser, right? We figured out how to fix that. It actually opens up the browser within the app now. At the bottom, there's a number of buttons. Press it, Joel. Good. The first one, this is my blog. My news feed imported into our own design within the app. So if you want to read my blog and keep up with the latest, you can actually do it on the phone. And you can click on any one of the articles, and it will then open up that article within the application. And this one actually has a replay of Ustream video. There's my blog. And like all browsers within the iPhone, you can make it bigger and smaller and turn it sideways, what have you, to make it work. There it is, blog and iPhone. And you could scroll back as far as you want, and you'll notice there's little thumbnails. Whatever thumbnail I upload with my blog, that comes up. Next is the event calendar. One of those says speaking at JV Alert Live. Look at that. There it is in February, and there's the page. Ken, you like that? Where's Ken? Yeah. Okay, the next button is our media button. So what we do is we compress our videos, and we upload them through the back end of the application. And look, it opens the YouTube viewer within the application. It doesn't actually have to leave like the other iPhone apps. And there I am, yada, 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 blah, 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 teaching you something that I just learned, and pause, and done. And then the last button is, go ahead and click it. Click it. That's my hand. No, I won't be a hand model. The last one, that's my Twitter feed.
Cool.
So we're pulling, thank you, we're pulling Twitter directly into the application from a back-end tool. So what I want to show you, let me see if I can make this go forward. Nope, it's all or nothing. So there is a web interface on the back end. what we've done is something that other iPhone developers are just starting to pay attention to. We're pulling data from the internet into the app. If I was to take all those videos and try to upload them into my application, that would be an enormous application. It would take you forever to download. So we decided, what if we built a database that could be fully managed from the back end so that not only can I have my own app, but that anybody who wants their own iPhone app, whether it is an author, speaker, teacher, musician, band, entertainer, celebrity, athlete, website, what have you, could have their own. So we developed mobile syndication solutions, and this is a cool model. Basically, this is a personal or corporate app that reaches all the iPhone and all the iPod Touch users, a number that is growing by the day. It gets distribution in the iTunes store. You could do a variety of content through it. We just showed you the different kinds. And all the content is managed via a back-end web interface. One of the cool things about it is we've got the direct response features built right in. You may have noticed that at the bottom of the screen it said call and our phone number. That is a click to call. You're using the app, you want to talk to somebody at my office, boom, you're there. We can put a special offer up at the top. Right now it said Twitter Power is coming out, and you click it, it takes you right to the book website, but you can put any special offer up there. So here's the model. Develop your own app for the App Store. There's 15,000 apps in the App Store right now. That's in 7 months. Imagine what it's going to be like a year from now. Imagine the press that you can get if you're the first one in your niche to be able to go to those publications in your niche and say, we're doing something new. It's not going to be new 6 to 12 months from now. There's going to be others who beat you to it. I'm going to show you one of the visionaries we've got doing it in a second. This will reinforce your brand loyalty. It gets you back in sales. It's cutting edge stuff, folks. So who would like their own iPhone app in the iTunes store? Okay, I'm going to show you guys in a little bit how to do that. What happened to my, hang on a second. Sorry, guys. We interrupt this, I put some slides in the wrong place. All right. Thank you. We'll come back to it. We'll just, I'm so human, I hate that. We'll just come back to that. Let me move on. We're going to revisit that in a minute. I'm going to show you an app we just built for somebody else when we get to that. The last thing I want to talk to you about is called TextCast Live, and this is more universal to all mobile. And all the other stuff we talked about, right now iPhone specific and very cool, but this is the one I really want you to pay attention to. And I'm going to start by telling you that you can't get it yet, okay? This is actually a service we're going to be launching. We're finalizing pricing. You can't get it yet. You can't order it here today. If you want to give us an email for when you're ready for it, we can let you know when it's ready. But this is so cool. Get out your cell phone. Go ahead. Get out your cell phone, please. This is the first, if you're domestic, if you're an international phone number, you won't be able to participate in this demo. Text messaging is very unique from other forms of direct marketing. We've tried print. We've tried radio. We've tried TV. Through the years, all these different methods have been used for direct marketing. We've tried direct mail, and we've tried email. In 1994 through 1997, and even up to 2000, email was the bomb. I mean, boy, you can send messages to people, and they get in their inbox, and they open them, and they click through, and they take action, and it was it. And back in that day, advertisers were paying $0.25 to 50 cents per confirmed email address to send offers to. Email's not the same anymore, is it? Whose junk folder is full? Oh, and who loses good messages in their junk folder? I hate that. Hate that. It's getting difficult to get mail delivered, even with the best deliverability, which we're trying to use with Habeas. Somebody's got a cool jam on their phone. You can go ahead and mute your phone. Just turn them on.
Joel, I just got a text message from my son.
She just got a text from her son just sitting here. Oh, read it? Okay. I shoot.
Exclamation mark.
Does he have I fart, though?
That's what I said.
That's good. Text messaging brings deliverability to whole new levels. You don't have junk texts on your phone. When somebody texts you, as long as that carrier is up, it comes through to your phone. It is near 100% deliverability. Email never promised that, never. The open rates are crazy, mad, insane. You could be sitting in a high-level meeting, and you probably have been, and what do? Look at your phone, right? Who's guilty? All the time. It's our phone. Excuse me, Mr. President, I have a text message. We stop and we look because we know if somebody's sending us a text, it's somebody we know and it's important. So the open rates are crazy, rates that email could never ever dream of approaching. And the conversions, by that same token, are unreal, only they are real. Because in the smartphones that we are beginning to carry, you can have hot links. Websites are clickable. Emails are clickable. Phone numbers instantly connect you with a call center. I'm going to give you an example here in just a minute. Mobile marketing is like email marketing circa 1995. If you knew then what you know now about email, would you have jumped on email in 1995? Would have been all over it. In fact, I was. And we're discovering new uses for mobile daily. I can give you some examples, but the real uses are going to come from people in their own niches that say, I got an idea how I can use that. In order for text messaging to work best, it needs the following. It has to be double opt-in, confirmed double opt-in. There is no government regulation along these lines yet. It took them years to regulate email for canned spam compliance to come into being. That was 2004. Right now, the carriers have some regulations, and believe me, if you want to start your own mobile messaging service, you'll have to jump through about that much documentation with the carriers. We've been at this for 18 months. If I would have known 18 months ago what I know now, I may not have gone down this road, but we did it, and I'm glad we got through it now, because the technology is amazing. It's got to be double opt-in. You have to be able to broadcast instantly. You have to be able to schedule broadcasts. You have to have an autoresponder. Right now, you can go out there to a mobile company and say, I got this stack of cell phone numbers and I want to blast this marketing message to it. And it's a one-time hit and boom, they'll send it out. That's it though. There's no follow-up. And if you want to blast your list again, you got to go to them and pay them again. If you'll imagine, who knows what AWeber is? Most of you, autoresponders, like Constant Contact. If you'll imagine AWeber for mobile, that's what I'm about to show you. And you have to be able to segment your list by various demographics, where people live, their gender, their age, what they like to eat, what kind of car they drive, and depending upon what kind of data you collect, you can do that across the board. And you have to be able to have multiple campaigns, and think of campaigns as lists. Here are some ideas for offline marketing, because this applies to on or offline. You will either be participating in this type of marketing through your business or through somebody else's. In offline, imagine restaurants, from fast food to high-end. Let's say that you go to Chili's, and they come and they bring you the bill and say, would you like a free appetizer next time you come into Chili's? Hand them a number right there and say, text Chili's to this number, and we're going to send the coupon to your phone right then and there. Does a few things. One, the customer's happy because you're giving them something for next time. Two, you're pretty certain there's going to be a next time. And three, how many times have you clipped a coupon for a restaurant and gone to that restaurant and said, had a coupon at home? All the time. You have it right here on your phone. Oh, got my coupon. Building brand loyalty. There it is. Restaurants across the spectrum are going to be using this type of technology. Bars. Ladies' night, happy hour, what have you. Want a free drink next time you come in? Text here, we'll send you a coupon to your phone. Services. Imagine going to Jiffy Lube for an oil change. They put that little sticker inside there telling you your mileage or in 3 months, whichever comes first. So instead, how'd you like a $5 coupon next time you come for your oil change, Bob the teacher? Awesome. And we'll send it to you in 3 months. because that's when you need your change. Boom, comes to them and tells them, time for a change, show this coupon $5 off, good for 7 days. Get people to take action. Oh, it's going to be off the charts. Stockbrokers can use it to send stock tips, insurance agents for updated quotes, any type of consumable product. Your warranty expires in 90 days. Click here or call here to renew now. You're instantly connected. Don't got to go look up paperwork. Don't got to go track down a phone number. They're telling you, here's what it is. Those conversions, off the charts. How about online? We're online marketers. Affiliate links, you can embed them right into special offer. Boom, click here. It's an affiliate link. Send news, latest blog entry, which of course can then be a mechanism for direct response. Articles and PDFs can be sent, especially on phones like the iPhone that has Adobe Reader on it. Connecting directly to a call center. In fact, we did a small test with the service as we're rolling this out to my email list. Said we need some people to opt in, and we're going to give you a free 30-page social media report that I just wrote. It's a PDF. We asked them to text in, and they opted in, said yes, and we sent them a link. And I'm going to demo that for you in just a second. 3 days later, we sent a message out to that list. They weren't expecting anything else. The message was special mobile offer. 50% off the Secret Classroom, which is a product we sell for $500. It's the Teaching from the Next Internet Millionaire show. 50% off, 10 only, call, and there was our 888 number. What cost us approximately $10 to send out, net us $1,000 within 48 hours. How's that for ROI? Because the open rates are insane, and that number, boom, irresistible offer. I want that. Member sites, you could drive people to your member sites. And you can integrate with email marketing. This is the tip of the iceberg for online and offline. It's everybody out here in the world who's going to be using the service that's going to come up with the ideas for how they're going to apply this to their particular niche or industry. All right, here's your demo. Text Joel to 468-398, and I'm going to give you a link to that free social media report. You want off after you get it, you type stop. That's it. Go ahead and text Joel to 468-398, and you can turn on your ringer so we can hear when they're coming back in. Joel is my station name. 468-398 is our short code. By the way, alphanumerically, that's go text. You will receive a message back. And when you receive it, this is the confirmed double opt-in process. And right now, it's foreign to a lot of people, but they're going to be trained. They're going to understand this is how it works, just as people were trained on how to use email and what a hyperlink is and how to use a web browser. They're going to begin understanding for marketing purposes. This is how you confirm double opt-in. So who's sent their message? Raise your hand. Who's gotten a reply? Okay, and confirm with Y. Just hit Y and reply with that, and that's your yes. And what happens is you will get a link. You'll get the first message in our autoresponder series. I'm going to show you the back end of this tool in a second. It's very cool. It's for me. It's from me. So you'll get the first message you get is, congratulations, you're part of a revolutionary new technology. Watch for your link in the next message. And then the second autoresponder, just like you would with AWeber, boom, goes out right away. Here's your link to your social media report. Click here to download. And if you don't have a phone that has an Adobe Reader, you just type it in on your web browser, and you've got the free 30-page social media report. You want off the list? The instructions are right there. You type stop, S-T-O-P, send. Goodbye, you're done. It's over. It's not hard to get off. It's much easier than trying to get off an email list. I can't tell you over the last week how many times I tried to get off an email list, and a certain shopping cart that will remain unnamed said it was unable to complete that instruction at this time. Several times over, I'm stuck on this list because the blasted cart is broken. S-T-O-P, done. Need help? H-E-L-P, send it. It's that easy. I need a big easy button. Thank you. Maybe a little difficult to see. This is the back end of TextCast Live. It's programmed entirely in Flex. which is a language I don't understand, but my understanding of it is that it works like a desktop application. Who understands Flex? Anybody? Any programmers? Well, way too much RAM. Okay, well, I'm proud of you just for even knowing. These are various channels. I love hearing the sound of phones going off. This is the only presentation you'll ever be in where somebody will tell you, turn on your phone. These are stations here. This is a demo channel, not an actual one that a customer is using. And you can view subscribers, you can view campaigns, you could send instant messages through it. These are a list of phone numbers in one particular channel. And this is a default campaign. Every channel, bless you, comes with a default campaign. You go into it, and these are the two messages you were just sent. Congratulations, you're now in the beta test for a revolutionary new marketing tool. Watch for your bonus link in, okay? And then the next one, you can now download your free copy of my free social media report at, boom, there it is. We can delete these, we can move these, we can reorder them. It's all drag and drop. If I want to add a new message, I click Create New Message, and I can put autoresponder or broadcast. If I want it to be an autoresponder, I tell it, how many days do I want it to wait? What kind of drip campaign do I want to do? If I want it to be broadcast, I tell it date and time. Yes? I'm sorry. All right, everybody mute your phones, please. Leave them on, just mute them. So depending on what type of message you want to send, it could be an autoresponder or a scheduled broadcast. Do you see how powerful this is? This is the future, guys. You're getting a look into it before the majority of the world has any idea what's about to hit. In fact, we've already been approached by some significant companies that want to white label this solution. And we're not concerned about the onesies and twosies. We're going to be able to do that, but we've got an organization with 50,000 or 100,000 customers that are saying, can we just put our own logo on this and plug this in? That's where this is going. This is big. You want to send an ad hoc message on the fly? Select your station or channel, type in your message, boom, out it goes. I didn't plan to send that message on 3 o'clock on a Thursday, 3 days after we sent out that offer. I just went to Ken in our office. I said, what do you think? Should we try this out now? He said, sure, okay. Sat down at the terminal, boom, boom, boom. A few minutes later, sends out, calls start coming into our call center. That's why we call it the most direct marketing, because it is right here attached to my hip. So what is the model for you guys? Embrace the technology. Will there be others after us? Guarantee it. So whether you ever work with us on this or not, irrelevant. The point is embrace the technology, because this is where it's going. Build your own cellular customer list. If you want to reach these people in ways that your competition cannot, it's on their cell phones. Where is it? Apply direct marketing best practices. You want to make sure whatever you do, it is confirmed double opt-in. You don't want to even give the illusion of evil at all. You want to make sure that everything you do is straight up and on the level. Give people quality service, and if they want off, they're off. You don't want anybody to be complaining to the Better Business Bureau because you're spamming their cell phone. It is impossible with the service to spam a cell phone. Conclusion, throw yourself into mobile marketing. However you decide to do it. If you're going to develop applications or services, utilities, games, fart apps, get into it. Experiment. There's a lot of different business models we went over here. I know it's new stuff for a lot of you here. That's fine. If we're breaking new ground, then hopefully you'll get the vision sooner than later. Create your own applications or partner with someone in the space. Now, I've got to tell you right away, I cannot tell you how many times I've had somebody come up to me and say, Joel, I got a great idea for an app. We have whiteboards full of ideas for apps. We are backlogged on our own stuff right now. I don't mean for that to sound rude. It's just we don't have any space. I need more developers, and we're actually looking at hiring some people in particular that we want to bring in to work on this. If you've got a great idea for an app, though, find somebody to partner with if you don't know how to do it to get it done. You guys got the mobile vision now? Yes. Excellent. So here's what I want to show you. You can get your own iPhone application. I asked you if you were interested in that. We are building the apps for celebrities, authors, writers, athletes, teachers, speakers, companies, individual websites. We're working on one for a major website right now, and that should be in the App Store in a couple weeks. The mobile syndication solutions is a complete turnkey system. We took what we designed based on the Comm app and said, you know what, if we could do this for me, and I can manage it all from a web interface just by uploading my content, then this is easy enough that anybody can do this. The back-end management, the web interface is simple. You just type in your XML feed for your blog. You just paste in your Twitter feed. You want to add calendar events, new event, date, time, place, publish. You want to add videos, it needs to be this dimension, this format, upload. We host it all. We, as the developer, then get it into the iTunes store for you. We know how this whole process works. We've got 6 apps in there now, and we understand how to get it in. From the time we say go and hand you a spec sheet for your team and your designers to design the assets and what's needed, to the time you bring it back to us, that could be a matter of days. You got somebody who can help you do the design according to our specs, it's done like that. When you give it to us, we compile it, we upload it to the App Store, 3 to 7 business days for an app to show up in the iTunes App Store. You create the look and feel to your liking, and I'm going to show you a different one here in a minute. It's definitely what's coming. Your app is in the store within 3 weeks of submission or less, and you decide if it's going to be for free or if you're going to charge for it. We don't want any piece of the back end for it. That's totally up to you. We do custom design as well if there's time for it. I showed you my app. Everything that you see here is created on the back end. Imagine the mobile syndication solution as a skin, and then you come in and fill it with your stuff, your business, your teaching, your content. So the blog, the part that you bring to this is telling us where your blog is and the design element. We tell you the dimensions that we need for that. The events calendar. The videos, they're at the bottom. You put the phone number in for whatever call center you want it to hit. The Twitter feed, that's your feed. And this is a piece of the back end where you'll actually go in and you hit the settings. Hammer Time. This went up in the store last week. Yes, that is the MC Hammer, and yes, we did his app. Is that cool? Yes. I think so. There he is. Check out my Dance Jams website. That's a cut and paste. When you click that, it goes to dancejams.com. Here's the news feed. It searches Google News, because his blog right now is just video. So until he gets his own blog going, we said, you know what? Let's just put MC Hammer, search in the news. That's pulling a Yahoo News feed. Anytime Hammer's mentioned, the most recent article comes up there. And we got a few thumbnails of him next to him. There's events he's got coming up. See how it's just skinned a little differently? Here's his music videos. Too legit to quit. Can't touch this. Twitter time. Simple design. MC Hammer loves using Twitter. He's got like 40,000 followers on it. And version 1.1 has just been uploaded. If I can get audio on this mic for just a second, it added this boom box. And when you click the boom box,
Can you touch this?
and there's the boom box again.
Can you touch this?
One more time.
Can you touch this?
So that's version 1.1 that just went up, a little enhancement. Yeah, thank you. Because people were saying, where's a quick music lick in there? So we added it. All right, so how much does an iPhone app cost? A lot. It does. There's just no way around it. This was an article that O'Reilly, that deals with digital media, published just a couple months ago. And they were saying in this article that it's not uncommon to spend $30,000 and up on iPhone development project. iPhone applications are not cheap. We've seen them go upwards of $100,000. It's a lot. And I'm going to tell you right now, this is not for everybody. This is not a bottom line type deal where we're going in the basement and anybody walks out with an app. This is for people that understand the vision of iPhone and the millions of affluent people that carry them and want to reach that audience and be first to market. So there's over 15,000 apps in the iTunes store in just 7 months. Over 500 million have been downloaded as of last month. 500 million already in just 7 months. Is that market going to go off the charts? Absolutely. So what's next? Here's your JV Alert Live special offer. You can get your own iPhone app in the iTunes App Store. It's less than 100. It's less than 50,000. It's less than 40,000. It's less than 25,000. It's even less than 10,000. In fact, if you call our call center right now, today, they won't be there. But if you call on Monday, they will tell you this is a $10,000 project. I know you may hear people say this is a special only for a certain group of people. I don't lie. I guarantee you that we are giving you a discount that we have not given anywhere else on this. The regular price on it is $99.97. If you want your own iPhone app, you will design it, okay? We will give you the specs, tell you exactly what we need, and you will pull in people on your team, and then you will upload your content. We will compile it and get it into the App Store. It's $79.97. Giving you guys $2,000 off. If you want to hand out order forms and you guys can ask me any questions you got on it, that would be fine. Has this been helpful for you? Thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it. The top one report is not on this order form. If you want to get your free copy, there's no obligation. Go to the back of the room, and Dan is there, and he will hand you one. If you want to sign up for the subscription, it is $29.95 a month with full access to the top one network. If you want the Instant Form Pro, it is not on the form. You need to go see Dan. Okay, Ken, what are we doing? What's next? Okay, we're going to take a break. The social media panel is next. And for those of you wondering what the big thing is, at the end of the social media panel, I will be revealing something that I think you're going to think is really cool as well. So thanks very much.
Thank you, Joel.